Hey guys, I just kind of wanted to take a moment and kind of tell you guys about some of my favorite games that I've had, both in currently right now and in my past. So I'm going to list my 5 favorite games, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about my dresser over there. Not really important about a dresser much, but I think it's kind of cool. Anyways, I think that number 5 on my list would probably have to be Pokemon Sapphire, I'd say. Probably because that was really the first, it wasn't really the first Pokemon game I ever got, but it was the first Pokemon game that I could actually, like, comprehend and actually get through the game and actually understand it a little bit more. I mean, I would, in other Pokemon games, like such as Red and Gold, Silver, I had all those beforehand, but that was kind of one of those, I didn't really know how to read much, and when I was a kid, and I was just kind of going through the game, not really knowing the storyline or anything that was going on. So Pokemon Sapphire, definitely, it was a major point in my life where I was kind of developed in the Pokemon series. Number 4, I would have to say, is Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, I believe it is. And that's not really, usually people think, Tony Hawk games, I don't like those that much. It's just a dumb skater game. I mean, I'm not a skater myself, personally, but, that was one of the, near one of the first games I ever got, probably the 5th or 6th game I ever got. First game on my PlayStation 2. And it was just kind of like a milestone in my life, sort of. Getting that new experience with a different game console and dealing with new kinds of games and such, and it was really fun. I didn't really, today you see people playing those kinds of games. It's like double kick flip, triple backslide dash, but yeah, it was just kind of like a kid. You're just kind of jumping and around and skating off of random stuff and not really doing anything, and you're not really paying attention to anything to do with the game whatsoever. You're just kind of playing it, just being a kid, not really knowing what you're doing. 3rd on my list, I'd have to say, is Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. And the reason this was my number one, is one of my number 1 favorite games, is because it was the first Legend of Zelda game that I could when I got older, I actually understood. I played other Legend of Zelda games like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask as a kid, but I didn't really understand the storyline, and Legend of Zelda games are great for storyline. They're one of the best storylines you'll ever come up with in games. They're a lot of fun, and yeah, but I just like the crisp graphics of the game itself, and the storyline that goes with it, and all the temples and bosses are really fun. And as you go through the storyline, you're just kind of getting attached to the characters and getting to know everything throughout the game, and you just want to find out more and more. I'd have to say 2nd would be Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, because I didn't really this was one of those games as a kid I played mostly. I play them a lot more now because I actually understand it, and it's I get the significance a lot more because of it, and it's a lot you kind of you go back and remember the stuff that you remember as a kid, and not really remember now you're recalling oh yeah, I remember this, oh, that's what was happening there, instead of just this goofball cockamamie kid scheme that I thought it was when I was 5 playing this game. But yeah, it's probably my favorite Legend of Zelda game, because it's just it's all where it mainly started with Link and all that stuff, and it's just a really great game. If you haven't played it, go out and try it. And but my number 1 favorite game, sorry about the camera, the number 1 favorite game of all time would have to be Kingdom Hearts 1. Because this was when I really, really got into gaming itself. This was really the first RPG, if you'd consider that an RPG game, that I ever really played. And yeah, the storyline is, I remember I didn't really start the game off from the very beginning. I went over to my friend's house one day when I was 12 years old, or something like that, maybe 10, and he was playing this game, and I was like, oh, that looks pretty fun. He's like, yeah, I'm stuck at this boss. So he handed me the controller, and it was my first time playing, and kept dying, and I'm like 15 minutes in, I beat the guy he's been trying to beat for like the past 3 days, and he was just impressed. So he kind of got hooked on it, you know. And I went back throughout years and years of playing that game, and I've beaten it so many times. The storyline is amazing. Graphics, well, the graphics for the time are good. If you guys aren't familiar with Kingdom Hearts, if you know Final Fantasy, then it's basically the same graphics as those with the around 2003 to 2005 graphics. Yeah, it's a really good storyline. It starts with this kid who's just like in this abyss area and goes off, not really doing anything, but then he ends up back on his island, which is his hometown, and you gotta go do all these missions and get all these stuffs ready for this raft so you can go sailing off with your friends. And then you end up going off in some weird storm and battling this monster and going to different worlds all around Disney, from Tarzan to The Little Mermaid and Nightmare Before Christmas. It's just a great game. If you it's really some people think it more as a kid's game just because of the reasons, like Disney's in it. Yeah, it's like, oh, I don't want to play some game where Alice in Wonderland is one of the main characters. Well, it's not really. The story is set in those games. It's not really set on those games. The game is really mainly set behind the storyline of the main character, which is Sora, the almost Final Fantasy looking character. But yeah, if you guys haven't played those games or anything, go and check them out. They're really good. Also, so I told you guys I'd show you my dresser. So I've had this dresser for quite a long time, and it's not really the best dresser. I mean, I like it, but recently this weekend I took this chalkboard paint and painted over it and started drawing a few things. So I'll show you what I have so far. You can see that I have the Hylian symbol wrapped around on the side. I have this eye because he's looking at you, peering into your soul. This for me and my girlfriend. I have a Pokeball because Pokemon is amazing, and Silverstein because they've been my favorite band since the longest time. I don't know if that's backwards or not because it's writing and it's kind of in a flip-face phone camera, but whatever. So yeah, that's my favorite games, and that's just my personal opinion. That's what I like and all that stuff. So if you want to check those out, or if that's not the kind of game for you, totally up to you. So just let me know what you guys think. If you want, post a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think are your favorite games. Let me know. I'll try some different games out. Really anything's up for recommendation. Specifically, I like more things like the old retro style. Like, get me some Game Boys and some N64, which was the first system I ever got personally. So just let me know what you guys like, and I'll check them out. And thanks for watching.